Welcome to today's video. So today I'm going to be talking to you about a perfume walk I went on in London, which was hosted by Perfume Walks London and in partnership with Accolade Parfums. So Perfume Walks London basically holds perfume walks in London and is hosted by a lovely lady called Olga. I've actually heard about them before a couple of months ago, but I saw them on Instagram recently, so I thought, oh, let me book myself on to the next walk that they've got just to see what the walk's about. So Perfume Walks London is in partnership with Accolade Parfums, which is an independent agent and online retailer of niche fragrances which are exclusive to the UK. I'm going to show you some clips from the walk before I tell you my thoughts.
Is that from the most important thing in this place. This is the perfume, the scent library. So when you come here, for example, and order your own bespoke fragrance, this is one of the services Flores offers. The perfumer sits here, all the secret documents, and blends all the ingredients in front of you. You taste the result and you choose one that you like, and then you receive a bottle of 100 ml or 200 ml, depends on you, and bring away your bespoke fragrance. Or if you are very rich, or a friend who gives you a birthday present is very rich and he would love to spend £2,500, you can order your own formula and keep on receiving your own perfume in years and years to come. That's what happened with previous clients. Some of them are royalty, and we can see here the Queen Mother of Romania, the Yugoslavia Princess Vsevolod Romanov. My God, this is Russian royalty as well. Look here, Viscount Portman, and of course the Duchess, Grand Duchess Xenia. So all the foreign royalties came here as well. But there was also Mr. Churchill and Mrs. Churchill, of course. They had their formulas here. Now, the formulas are still kept in a special place. But the special place doesn't look very romantic, I know. It's here. So, that wounded soldiers. And she attended to them with this lamp, Turkish lamp, in the hospital. So she was always there. She was always there. So she was completely tremendous, and she was wearing this perfume as well. So under this floor, because there was laboratory up here, but then the laboratory moved to Devon, and you can see Lady Diana opening in 1989 the labs by Flores, but they're still made in the UK. You can also notice that all the bottles look different, especially here. Look here. And now we are so used that a brand has a very recognizable perfume bottle. It wasn't like that till very recent times, because the perfumes were stored in pharmacies or in perfume houses, in perfume shops, in big dark bottles, and you could buy as much as you wanted using your lovely bottle, like this or like that. By the way, I do not suggest you buying or storing your perfumes in these bottles with sprays, because they evaporate through the spray, so you just lose it. Do not store. You can use it, but do not store perfumes in there. It has about 20 of the royal mandates, and to get one of those, you need to supply for about 7 years your products to the royal house. And they actually received the first one not for the perfume, but for the hair combs. And you can see them here. And you can see that they're actually Spanish. The fourth, who was one of the English kings, and he had a lot of hair, was so pleased that he finally found a comb that didn't hurt him. He gave the first royal warrant to Flores for the combs. And then they had much, so they had other tree coming in there once they, so nice. Exactly. And you never know when they change their mind and stop opening it, isn't it? Why in the future they might not you understand that it's completely, beautiful. Yes, beautiful. It's a treat. Oh, hi. It's a treat and we are so happy. It's all right. Yeah, you missed the tour. Yeah, but you can take every picture you would like to.
Selfies or anything. Do you want me to take a picture of you guys, or anyone want to take a
Buy her perfume. Agatha Christie didn't want to name the perfume, but we are smarter than a lot of readers of her times. She called the perfume Gabrielle No. 8, which is of course Chanel No. 5. Take your seats and have rest. Okay, and you can enjoy them finally. So it all looked marvelous, like being in a flower garden. And even our lovely assistants here are not called shop assistants; they're called floristas, with the Van Gogh Museum. And it's the only perfume I know that actually smells like sunflowers. So if you spray a little bit and try it, and it does smell like sunflowers, really, like fresh sunflowers, exactly. It's a piece of marketing. Electric rhubarb. You know, if the marketeer you can use any bit of it, even this wonderful thing for your hair, right? So, and it's made out of the recycled paper. Very beautiful indeed. And can you refill the perfumes?
Yes.
They can refill the perfumes.
Each time you refill, when you bring it back into the store, you get 20% off.
Exactly.
really good?
But also today, you have 20% from everything you buy. And you can start with a lovely sample set, from the smallest to the biggest one. You can start with 10 ml perfume bottles or candles, and just notice, please do notice that the bottles for 50 ml and 100 ml look exactly the same.
So overall, I thought it was a wonderful afternoon. I think it's great that Perfume Walks London are able to provide us this kind of service, because if you do a Google search, you won't find Perfume Walks anywhere in London or the surrounding areas, or anywhere in the UK for that matter. It's quite interesting that we're given this opportunity to do a perfume walk around London and to visit certain fragrance houses and have like this behind the scenes access. So the walks focus on visiting fragrance houses, being given behind the scenes access to the fragrance houses, given discount codes on the day, and told secrets and told stories as you walk through the streets of London. So when you do come to a statue, normally you wouldn't know who the person is. But when you're on the walk, Olga explains to you the significance of that person in the fragrance industry, which I thought was quite useful. For me, the highlight of the walk was the access we were given to the very special room in Flores. As a normal customer, you wouldn't be allowed in there, obviously. It was incredible to see the history and the reality from over 150 years ago, the real furniture dated from that era, the perfume bottles that they've used over those 150 years, the pictures and the actual scent library that was used by Flores. Just for this, so just for the access that we were given at Flores, I'm really grateful to Perfume Walks London for organising such a thing, because as I mentioned, no one else will give you this access across London, and if you even go as a normal customer to Flores, you're not going to be given the access to the room. And just for that reason, I recommend you book yourself onto one of the walks. So each walk is actually different, but they all start at Flores, so most likely you will be given this access to Flores, and most likely you will see this room at the back of Flores where all the magic has happened over the years. So if you do book yourself on one of these walks, then don't go with high expectations, because Perfume Walks London is still increasing its awareness. So don't expect to be visiting like Dior, Chanel and Harrods, for example. So on my walk, we visited Flores, and then we walked through the streets learning some history, and then we finished off at Floral Street Fragrance Boutique, where we also got 20% off our purchases on the day. I'm not promoting Perfume Walks London, nor do I work with them, and nor are they sponsoring me, but I just feel the more we support this initiative, this idea, the more behind the scenes access they can get for us at fragrance houses, because as I keep saying, as a normal customer, you wouldn't be given this. So the fact that Perfume Walks London has started off with Flores, and if you book yourself onto one of the walks, you're given this behind the scenes access. You learn so much about their history. Just imagine if we continue to support Perfume Walks London, how much more they will be able to get for us. So if you want to visit more fragrance houses eventually and be given access to areas you normally wouldn't see, then definitely support Perfume Walks London now by attending their walks, following them on Instagram, because they can eventually lead us to this. But apart from the interesting things that I learned about Flores and the interesting things I learned as we walked through the streets of London, I also found it very useful for networking and meeting people who have the same interests as you. I actually learned a lot whilst on the walk, especially with Flores, as I keep saying, because I think on my particular walk, the main emphasis was on Flores, and believe me, I learned a lot about Flores, but I'm not sharing everything with you on here because I want you to experience it for yourself if you do decide to book yourself onto one. I recommend the walk to everyone who loves perfumes, who loves history, whether you're from the UK or not, whether you're in London or not, or if you're just coming on holiday. Definitely I recommend you to book yourself onto one of the walks in the future. So on the day, you also receive a goodie bag from Accolade Parfums, and if you're lucky, you also meet the owner of the company herself, like I did. So as I mentioned, Accolade Parfums is an online agent and retailer for niche fragrances which are exclusives to the UK. So this is the goodie bag that we were given. I'm just going to show you what's inside. So I'll take everything out and then show you what's what. So I'll start off with the business cards first. So this is the business card for Perfume Walks London. They're also called Perfume Days, and that's basically got the information on there. And then you've got the business card for Accolade Parfums. And then you've got details of the owner, who is Anjan Haling, who is the lovely lady that I met whilst I was on the walk. Then you've got a little postcard type of information leaflet for Perfume Walks London. And then these are all the samples you're given. So this is a candle for Floral Street Boutique, which is in Covent Garden. So Floral Street, I'm going to get to that next because I did try the fragrances in their boutique too. But they are really nice. As the name suggests, they focus more on floral scents. But they are really good quality, and I'm going to get to that in a second. But in the Accolade Parfums goodie bag, you get a candle from Floral Street. You get a mini chocolate for Green and Blacks. And again, this, if you do go on the walk, you'll see why this is in the goodie bag, because Olga does make a reference to this chocolate brand whilst you're on the walk. Also, you're given a sample of White Rose by Flores. This is beautiful. I smelled this for the first time whilst I was at Flores that day. And it really is beautiful. It has a lot of history behind it. So again, as I said, I haven't told you everything because I want you to experience it yourself. And then you've got a couple of other testers which are exclusives to the UK, so you won't find them everywhere. In fact, I don't even know where you can find these. But here we've got from Orange Parfums, the Bazzi collection. Then we've got one from the Cadieux collection. We've got one that's called Silk Road for Her from Begim. And then we've got Algabra Bosphorus Pearl. So this was a really nice touch to the day, to be given all of these freebies, all of these samples to try out. These are gifted to everybody who joins the walk, and they are gifted from Accolade Parfums. So our last stop on the walk was the Floral Street Fragrance Boutique in Covent Garden, where we got 20% off anything we purchased on the day. So I went for a sample set because whilst I was there, which by the way we were given drinks and chocolates while we were there, but whilst I was trying out the fragrances as I was drinking my drink and eating my chocolates, I found the fragrances quite good actually. I thought they were really good quality, and as I said, Floral Street Boutique focuses on floral fragrances. So I went and purchased a sample set. So this is the sample set, and the reason why I purchased this is because I found the fragrances quite good actually, as I said, and I wanted to explore them further. So I'm just going to open it to you and show you what it's got. So you've got, how many is there? There's 8 of their bestsellers, and I think they've got about 10 or 11 in their entire collection. So there was 2 that aren't in this that I wanted to try as well, and the lovely lady that works there actually gave me the 2 extra samples as a bonus. So yes, overall, I thought it was a truly wonderful experience to see Flores in such detail and hear stories about the UK fragrance industry that I never heard before. UK, actually, London has a very rich fragrance history that you would be very interested to hear about actually. So I've walked past these statues that we talked about many times before, not knowing who they were, but now it's like a completely different picture. So I would recommend you to book yourself onto one of the perfume walks with Perfume Walks London. As I said, don't go with high expectations because Perfume Walks London is still growing. If you want to access Dior, Chanel, etc., then don't go. But if what I've just said sounds interesting to you, then definitely try it out, as I haven't even told you half of what I've learned. Just remember, the more we support this type of program, the more they'll be able to provide us with more behind the scenes access in the future to other fragrance houses. So I hope you found this useful. I do hope that I get to attend more walks and events in the future, because as Olga said, each perfume walk is different. So I don't know what the other walks are about, and I definitely would be interested to see how they are too. So if you have any questions, then do drop it in the comments box below. Otherwise, take care everyone, and I'll see you guys soon. Thank you.